How you guys doing? Eugene Johnson, founder of Make Your Mind an Asset, with another episode. And today's topic, I want to ask you this question. The question is, are your friends and family blocking your success? Now, Napoleon Hill says that the #1 killer of success is listening to your friends, family, and neighbors. Now, why does he say that? It's because associations are so key to success. You know, so many people, if you grew up with somebody or your best friends or your family or you're a spouse of a negative person, I mean, all of these people can either pull you closer to your goal or pull you further away. A friend of mine used to always say, the people are either stretching your visions or choking your dreams. So are the people around you stretching you to become better, or are the people around you dragging you down? And if they're dragging you down, you've got to learn how to cut ties. You have to. And it's painful. I know. Some of these people are close friends. Some of these people are relatives. Some of these people are people that you know and you love and you trust and you respect. But when it comes to success, your environment is so key to your success becoming a reality. You're the average of the people that you hang around with. The 5 people that you hang around with curse, you'll probably be the 6th one. If the 5 people that hang around with you drink a lot, you'll probably be the 6th one. If the 5 people you hang out with eat a lot of cheeseburgers, you probably eat a lot of cheeseburgers. If the 5 people you hang out with don't have financial success, you probably don't have financial success. And this is not a negative knock towards you or the people around you, but it's time that if you want to elevate your life, you got to get around elevators. Get what I'm saying here? You got to get around people that lift, not people that pull. It's time. It's your time. If not now, when? When are you going to decide that the environment around you is not conducive to your success? Everybody's trying to be the rose that grew from concrete. Look here, if you ever heard of Tupac has an album called The Rose That Grew from Concrete. Everybody wants to be that rose because, see, the concrete is the people around you. It's the environment that's not really conducive for that rose to grow out of concrete. See, the rose growing out of concrete is a rare occurrence at best. It might never happen. It might be a 1 in a million chance that happens. And everybody's trying to be that rose that grew out of concrete. They want to be that 1 in a million. Maybe I cannot change my association, be in a place that's not really conducive for my success, for me to even become a rose, but I'm going to stay here because maybe, just maybe, I might be that 1 in a million rose that grew out of concrete. It's that lottery mentality, that Powerball mentality, that maybe this $2 will make me a billionaire. And the likelihood is so low. I mean, so low, but so many people are betting their entire future on odds that are not in their favor. So why try to be the rose that grew out of concrete? Why not just be the rose that grew in the garden? Because the garden is where roses grow, and other roses are in the garden, and all of the other roses are trying to blossom and become better. Why try to be the first when you can just be the next? Just be the next rose that blossoms out of this beautiful garden. And get into gardens that allow you to blossom and become better. It's just a smart thing to do. I'm not saying that you have to. Look, you do whatever you want to do. But here's what I do say. I encourage you to look around. Look around your environment and say, are the people that I'm around, are the places that I go to, are the books that I read, if I read books, are the audios that I listen to, are the shows that I watch, are they all inspiring me to become better, or are they keeping me stuck in the place that I am today? I always talk about the fact that the tallest tree in America is in the redwood forest, and in the redwood forest in California has the tallest tree. And if you took that seed that planted that same tree and you planted it in Alaska, will it still grow to be the tallest tree in the United States? No. Why? It's not because the seed didn't have the potential. The seed had the potential to become great. What happened was the seed was placed in the wrong environment, and that environment wasn't conducive to the success of the seed. See, for myself, I grew up in one of the roughest neighborhoods in New York. I could have easily went down and became a statistic, and I was heading in that direction. And I had people in my family and my friends that are heading in that direction. And I said to myself, look, I have the potential to be great, but in the environment that I'm in now, I have to remove myself myself or the environment is gonna suck me in. So I decided to move to California. I had never been in California in my life, and I decided with my best friend Mike, we both moved to California literally on a whim. I decided I was gonna move in September of 2006. I actually moved to California by December of 2006. So literally in a couple of months, I had decided that my environment was no longer conducive for the growth of my success. And I said that if I'm going to succeed, I need to remove myself from this environment that's toxic to me. Now, it might be not toxic to other people, but for me, it was holding me back. So I had to decide to make a shift, and I shifted and moved to a place that I had never been before. I didn't know many people. I probably knew 3 people, maybe 4, that I knew when I moved out here. I moved in an apartment with 4 other people, literally was sleeping on air mattresses and just trying to survive and make it work. And I knew that that was better because all 4 of those people who were in that apartment were striving to become better. They were striving to take their lives to another level. And I knew if I was going to be successful, I had to get around people who were striving. And then we continued to grow and we continued to grow. And because of that decision, besides my relationship with God and my relationship with my wife and my family, the most important decision I ever made was moving to California. Not because of California itself, but because I decided to position myself in a place that would allow me to succeed. And that positioning gave me the right environment, the environment that was conducive for my success. So I got the proper nutrients, the proper sunlight, because that potential seed needed that sunlight to become great. And I needed that sunlight. So I decided to position myself. Now I know that some people are in situations where they can't position themselves. Maybe it's a little bit difficult. Like maybe you can't be like me and move across the country to a different place. Look, I didn't have a lot of money. I just moved because I decided it was the best thing for me. But maybe you can't do it. Maybe you're stuck where you are. And if you are, then you have to make your environment, the people around you, and the things that you do, and the people that you listen to, and the events that you go to, and the things that you read, and the things that you watch. You got to make that environment rock solid so that the other things won't seep in and push you away. You got to learn how to close the gap. And I actually learned this from a rapper by the name of Snoop Dogg. He talked about closing the gap. He said when you're starting off, you're here and your friends are here. You guys are all in the same level. But what happens is as you start to gain success and gain success and gain success, natural inclination is for you to go back and try to pull these guys up. That's the natural inclination. That's what the average person will try to do that. Why? It's because you care about those people. You want them to move in the same direction. But the thing about closing the gap is you can't close the gap this way because you're going backwards. You can only close the gap by inspiring these people to move up. So when you have people around you, sometimes you got to be willing to let those people go. And now those people, you might have to inspire them. And some of them get mad because they're like, why inspire me? Just give it to me. Just give me the success that you have. Just give me some of your success. Now they might be mad at you. They might be mad and say, well, you're a sellout. You're a sellout. But sometimes you got to sell out in order to get out, to come back and help out. And sometimes people want you to do things that's best for them and not best for you. And you got to make a decision that you're going to do what's best for you, because a sinking ship never SOS to another sinking ship. And so if you're sinking, you can't help anybody anyway. So sometimes pushing yourself away from those people and those environments, those things will allow you to patch up the holes in your own ship so that when you create some success, it's easier for you to help people along and inspire them to jump on the boat or inspire them to build their own boat. So all this means is when it comes to your success, you got to put on some blinders. You got to do like the horses on the racetrack. They put on blinders on these horses so that they don't see the horses to the side of them. And because they don't see the horses, they're focused on their race. And you got to run your race regardless of the horses on the side of you, the environment, the friends, the family, the neighbors, the people who are saying whatever they're saying about you and what you're going after and what your goals are. I bet you there are friends and family who said, Eugene, he thinks he's all of that. He moves to California. He's going to create these businesses. Oh yeah, whatever. Come on. Yo, I'll see you when you get back in New York. I'll bet you fail. I bet you won't make it. You know, people people who smile in your face but say those things behind your back. Now, I don't know who it is. I don't really care. You know why? Because I'm about my business and I'm about putting on those blinders and going after my goals. And if you want to come along the way, I'm happy to help you create success as well. But if you want to talk about me and stay negative, stay on the sideline. Do what you do. I don't have a problem. I still love you. I still want you. I still wish the best for you, even if you're talking negative about me. That's the type of mentality you gotta have, but you can only have that mentality where you're focused on your goals and you're achieving and you're creating success. Because when you're not achieving and you're not creating success, it's easy to start focusing on what's not going right. And you start focusing on the people around you and what they're saying and how they feel about you, when none of those things matter. The day of freedom for you will be the day that you decide that you don't care about other people's opinions, that other people's opinions won't dictate your future, that other people's opinions won't dictate how you feel about yourself on the inside. When you get to that moment, that's the moment of freedom. True freedom. A freedom to create success, a freedom to live in peace, a freedom to have the self-esteem that you need to have in order to succeed. Freedom when you decide that other people's opinions don't matter. So let me leave you with 4 things that I think you should do in order to not allow the friends and family to block your success. Here's the 4 things I think you should do. The first thing is remove yourself from negativity. All negativity, remove yourself if you can. If you can't figure out a way to maneuver so that you're not spending a lot of time with the negativity, but you gotta remove yourself as fast as possible. The second thing you need to do is find a voice of value. Jim Rohn says it all the time. Find a voice of value and stay for a while. Stay for a while. Listen to a voice of value. Somebody who has something positive to say. Somebody that has something uplifting to say. And you might say something like I said, I grew up in a neighborhood where there weren't a lot of people having success. So, who do I go to find a voice of value? Who do I talk to? I don't have anybody to talk to, but that's when I opened up books. That's when I started listening to audios. The great thing about the world we live in today is that everything is available to you. Everything. In the internet, you can find anything. You can open up YouTube, type in somebody who says success, type in make your mind an asset. There are 20 something other videos you can listen to get your association and your mindset right. Go listen to other people. Listen to, a Les Brown or a Tony Robbins or a Brian Tracy or, a Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn or, the Eric Thomas. The list goes on and on of people who you can associate with. Maybe you don't associate with them in the natural, but you associate with their mentality, you associate with their thinking patterns, and you get around voices of value, and those voices of value will take you in the upward position. Those voices of value for me were people like Jim Rohn, were people like Paul J. Meyer, one of my early mentors, somebody who literally changed the way I thought about life. People like, Darnell Self, a gentleman that I learned a lot from in the early stages of my career. People like, the list can go on and on of great leaders, of John C. Maxwell and Robert Kiyosaki. Get around voices of value and allow them to speak life into you. Allow them to paint the picture of what your life could be if you decide to shift some mentalities, if you decide to do some paradigm shifts in the way you think, and allow those thinking shifts to shift you to a new direction in life. The third thing I want you to do is get closer to those voices as you go. And here's what I mean by that. So maybe you're listening to people like this, but maybe they're having events. You need to get to their events. Maybe they have some special type of get together or a question and answer or a book signing. You need to get around, get as close as possible. Maybe they have videos online and you can put comments in the section below. Trust me, these people who it seems like, they're so big and they're too hard to get to, they start to see the same person commenting over and over. That person sticks out to them. Now, if you meet them and you say, I'm the guy whose username is ... and I've been commenting on your stuff, and they might say, I see you have some amazing insight. I appreciate you for giving it. And maybe you might be able to get close enough to learn from them in a whole nother level. And that's what I did. So, for some people that I saw from afar, I did what I could to move closer and closer and closer to them so I can get more value from that voice. And then the last thing is, after you do that, become a voice of value. Because your experience, the things that you learn, the person that you become after you've achieved the success, even on the process of achieving the success, you can become a voice of value and speak life into somebody else. There might be people who need a voice of value right now. And you might say, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm not at the top of the top level. But there's some people who were where you were a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you can help them get to at least where you're at. Maybe you can't help them get to the highest level, but you can help them get to your level. And some people just want to hear that. So become a voice of value. Give life. Give other people hope. Give other people a vision and a dream for their life. Because if you got that vision and dream and you got it deposited into you, then you can become a depositor and deposit it into other people. And I urge you to become that as you go through this process. So hopefully this gave you some nuggets. Hopefully you can walk away from this stuff saying, man, this is something that I can implement in my life right this second. If you haven't already, like, comment, share. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, then you're crazy, you're missing out. I got so much more content that's coming, so many more things that's happening. So I'm hoping that you get closer, so many more interviews and so many more products that we have releasing. And I mean, it's literally gonna I'm literally gonna explode the internet with the type of stuff that I have coming out. So if you're not liking, commenting, subscribing, if you're not figuring out a way to get around this environment, this group of people, because the people that I'm going to be bringing around, there's going to be some amazing people to learn from, to grow from, people who are multi-millionaires, people who are great fitness, people who are in all areas of life who are creating success. I want to get them in front of this camera and get a chance to speak to you and hopefully inspire you to become the best you that you can ever be. So once again, it's Eugene Johnson saying, remember, let no man steal your vision. You got it, because no man gave it to you. God bless. Do you want success higher than the success that you currently have? And if you do, some of these addictions and some of these choices are pushing you further away from your goal. Every weekend that you spend partying